Any questions?
Governor, on an off topic, several Western New York counties have declared states of emergency to avoid receiving migrant populations. Is there anything you can do to overpass that? Would you need to? And your thoughts on them doing that at this point, kind of calling for safety and housing concerns?
Well, at this point, we're working very hard to deal with what is a crisis situation. I met with Mayor Adams literally yesterday. I was in Washington the day before, talking about our need to deal with this enormous influx of individuals legally seeking asylum. There's over 71,000 in the state of New York right now. The city has been working really hard to house them. They have over 150 places they're housing them now, shelters that have been stood up, hotels, and more help is needed. So we're working closely with them, literally hour by hour, trying to identify places where there are welcoming communities. And we're working also very hard to make sure that we can get some legal work status that will allow them to go work on the farms in upstate and work in the hotels and work in the restaurants. And I think when we get to that point, it'll change people's attitudes about it rather dramatically.
What are the hurdles with the SUNY campuses right now, and what's the expectation maybe as far as numbers we might see at a place like UB or even SUNY Fredonia?
You know, we're just doing an overall survey of all state assets. You know, no decisions have been made, but I wanted to find out, you know, what's available at everything from DOT facilities to our DEC offices to, you know, literally every place we have space, because in the city of New York, they are bursting at the seams. They started having to put them in school gymnasiums, and there's a lot of anxiety around this. But to me, we have a large state. We need to do it in a right way, a way that we work closely with the local officials, because even at the conference of mayors yesterday in the North Country, one of my representatives was there, and there are a lot of people coming up to her saying, we want to welcome them, because there's not a cost to the locality. This is simply allowing people to be welcome, whether it's in a hotel, if it is a campus, and the money follows them. The money will cover the costs of all the services they will need. I think a lot of people don't know that yet. They assume that it'll be borne by the local community. That's not the case here. It's a different dynamic. And so we'll be making some announcements on locations, and we're working with the mayor because they're responsible for deciding ultimately where people go, but our job is to provide them some options.